The 2020 BMW M2 Competition 6-speed manual. Hi guys, this is Joe Tunney visiting my good friends here at BMW of Hawaii in the beautiful city of Kona on the big island of Hawaii. And today we're taking a look at the 2020 BMW M2 Competition with a 6-speed manual. Now, if you ask me what is the short list of my favorite daily driver performance cars ever, I would probably mention the Honda S2000, the Infiniti G35 coupe, the E36 series BMW M3, and the A80 series Toyota Supra twin turbo. All of them were realistically priced when they were new. All of them had absolutely thrilling performance up to spectacular limits and could handle those limits safely. All of them were built with incredible build quality, and of course all of them came with a manual transmission. Say what you want about today's DCT or dual clutch transmissions or even modern automatic transmissions, there's no more satisfying way to drive like your life depended on it than with a manual transmission. But first, we're going to start by taking a look at this 2020 BMW M2 Competition by taking a look at what's right under the hood. The 2020 BMW M2 Competition uses the same S55 twin-turbo inline 6-cylinder found in other BMW M sports cars, this one with 405 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 was achieved in car and driver's tests in just 3.9 seconds with the manual, which was actually quicker than dual clutch models. Featuring a carbon fiber reinforced strut tower bar and the lower weight of a manual transmission, the 2020 BMW M2 Competition pulls an even 1.0 G-forces of lateral acceleration, which is also incrementally superior to the heavier dual clutch model. Now, the wheels on the 2020 M2 are offset, so they're biased to be a little bit bigger in the back than they are in the front. There are two 65-35-19 Michelin Pilot Super Sports in the back, two 45-35-19 in the front. But the thing that jumps out at you on the M2 Competition are the size of the brakes. The brakes are gigantic on the M2 Competition. 15.7 inches in the front. They're an iron brake assembly with 6 piston calipers in the front, so that's a big deal. In the back, they're 15 inches with 4 piston calipers. For a vehicle that weighs 3,600 pounds, this is definitely no lightweight, but with such high performance braking capacities, this goes from 70 to 0 in 155 feet with the dual clutch model. But since the 6-speed is lighter than the dual clutch model, that shaves that number down to 151 feet. For anybody who's ever been in an accident before, the difference between 4 feet can be the difference between getting into something that you regret and missing that something altogether. Let's take a look inside. The wheelbase on the 2020 M2 is 106 inches, and so it's more of a two-person affair. Could you bring a couple of friends in a pinch? Absolutely. Longer drives with your kids? Not a problem. Now, this particular car has an enhanced exhaust system, so this upgraded motorsports exhaust is about a $5,000 option, and we're going to turn it on and take a listen to it. It sounds spectacular. But one of the things I wanted to point out is the trunk. This is a compact, even a subcompact car with rear-wheel drive. So you might expect a car like this to have a tiny trunk. That's actually not the case. It's 13.8 cubic feet with the seats up. And then as you can see, there's 60-40 split folding. It's actually somewhat practical. In fact, it's really practical. Hard to say on a car that's so high performance oriented, but it's something that, again, you could live with as a daily driver. Let's take a look inside. Now, one of the criticisms that you already know is going to be made again and again about the M2 Competition is that the interior looks kind of dated. But to somebody like me, it looks dated in the best imaginable way. Two primary dials tell you how fast you're going and how high you're revving. That's really all I care about. To have them so clearly indicated is a giant plus for me. Does it have a giant monitor or anything like that? It does not have a giant monitor or anything like that. Does it have a push-button e-brake? It does not have a push-button e-brake. It has a traditional emergency brake. Carbon fiber, yeah, I can dig the carbon fiber look of the interior and the 100% business motorsport steering wheel. This is a car that's designed with one thing in mind: fun. Like all of my favorite cars that I've ever had in my life, the only thing that matters on this car is that it's an absolute blast to drive. The seats are comfortable and the stereo system rocks. Are all those things happening? You bet they're happening. Seats are great, stereo is great, car is great. Let's take it out for a drive. The clutch action is actually light and easy. The shift is real positive, feels really nice. The clutch pedal itself is super duper light. And then the transition between clutch and gas is smooth. Sometimes high performance cars have a real specific actualization point that can make for really rough shifts, especially for the first time or first couple of times that you're driving the car. This isn't that way at all. In fact, if it's going to remind you of anything, it's something more like a Honda, more like a pedestrian manual shift. It shifts genuinely that easily. Now, headspace is actually quite comfortable in the 2020 BMW M2 Competition. I'm 6 feet tall, 180 pounds. I have plenty of headroom. I also have plenty of width in the chair. Sometimes these chairs can be a little bit narrow, but that's not the case at all in this one. But what you really care about is the performance. So let's find out a little bit about that. 0 to 60, 0 to 70, 0 to 80, super, super fast. But in a way that's completely composed. If there's one thing, you almost don't have the pure electric, visceral thrill of instantaneous performance because it's so composed, it's so smooth. It feels so safe, to be honest with you. It's the kind of car that you can really throw around and feel very comfortable that you're not going to get out of your skill set. Over the rough roads, does it feel inconsistent or bouncy or jarring or anything like that? Nope, not at all. It feels great. When I talk about some of those legendary cars like the S2000, like the twin-turbo original Supra, like the E36 BMW M3, they all have this same kind of soul where they have everything that you need. Things like ground clearance, things like ease of power steering when you go through a tight environment like this, comfortable size and scale in the interior without being over the top. They all have that in common. But what also they have is a sense of this is the real deal. It's an ultra high performance sports car, much more so in the case of the M2 Competition. This truly is a racetrack superstar type of car, but it's something that you could very, very comfortably drive every day. The shift action, the launch of the performance, it's not abusive. It's actually comfortable and normal. If anything, I expected, based on what reviews I had read of it, for it to be a little bit more jarring than it is. No, it's just a comfortable car that you could live with every single day for years and years and be thrilled that you did. Now, one thing about the BMW M2 Competition, it does come with a 4-year, 50,000 mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. It also comes with 3 years, 36,000 miles complimentary maintenance from BMW. Now, here in Hawaii, you worry about rust, especially on a nice car like this. This does come with a 12-year unlimited mile rust-through warranty from BMW. It also comes with 4 years unlimited miles roadside assistance. So it's a car that is going to last for years and years. The build quality and BMW standing behind it are both exemplary. It feels awesome. It looks cool. It really is an amazing car. And if you have any questions about it, please don't hesitate to reach out to my friends at BMW of Hawaii, or reach out to me anytime at joeloveshawaii@gmail.com.